Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from My Stand Gamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at another ship on the Steam Workshop. Now this is the beautiful KR class cruiser version 2, created by Casamand. Now I have to say this has some really unique shapes to it, and it's just a really beautiful piece of design and engineering. We'll start with the exterior tour like we usually do, and we'll start at the back this time. So at the back we actually have the main centralized cockpit that is mounted on the top here on this sort of large pillar, and it actually forms into an X sort of shape. And just look how he's tucked these thrusters in here and then added some blast door blocks to act as vents, and then he's just angled up some of the armor, creating this really nice sort of finned effect leading into this point. Just something you can really learn from here. And at the back we've got a merge block so you can connect up a secondary ship. Now coming to these engine bay cells on both sides, we can see we've got some standard sage thrusters, and we have a little bit of a catwalk that separates this area. So what is this? Well, this actual engine bay on the side is a little bit of a planetary smaller ship. So if we turn to that side like that, we can actually detach this little ship here, go down to the planet, scavenge supplies, do what we need, and these are fully equipped. You can see we've got two hydrogen thrusters on the back, and as they attach to the side of the ship like this, they actually look like a very useful and integrated part of the design itself. So as we come forward, you can see the actual hull of the ship starts to narrow, and he's reinforced this, adding these little reinforced bar areas, looking very nice. Then as we come down to the bottom, you can see we've got some turrets on the side and the same sort of reinforced pattern as the ship starts to expand back out. Now as the ship expands out into this area, you can see we've got some very fine detail work on the top here. We've got these little vents, add some button panels as well, just to add a little bit detail. And we've got some more button panels to add these little fins and different sorts of details that you see on a ship from afar, adding that extra little bit of level. And we've got a nice little tow cut, as I like to call them, where the tow ships, if you ever played 40k, have these little cuts in, and then it divides up the different armor segments, and it comes down to this lower area here where these are just pointless blocks, but they add that extra little bit of detail, and you've got to imagine maybe the pipes or something else. We've got the turrets laid out in here really nicely, a lot of firepower, but of course since he's took that into the design, he's saved on ruining the exterior of the shape, but at the same time he has lost the firepower arcs that he would gain from doing so. You see there's a number of different windows through this area as well, looking out on the turrets from various decks, both the med bay up top there and some of the lower floors. Let's go around to the front. So as we're around at the front of the ship, you can see we've got a very small hangar bay. Now this might be difficult to fit any large ships in since it's only 2 blocks high, but you could probably fit in a small sort of exploration or fighter based craft. He's done this little bit of an intake duct here so you don't catch a ship as you go in. It's also sensor activated and it's open because my space engineer is in there. Just a very nice simple design. Now coming below we have some little blaster turrets, a very nice addition, and up above we have this viewing cockpit. But now we've seen the exterior, let's go inside and just see how detailed that is. So beginning the exterior tour, we're entering in through the hangar bay that we can close up behind us by pressing this button here. Very simple little design, and now it'll become pressurized and we can actually enter into the next area. Now by entering into here, we'll pop this open, probably have a little bit of an airlock ceiling malfunction, but we should be fine. Pop that door closed behind us, let this room actually vent back up with its oxygen, and then we can open up this door as well. So we're actually entering into one of the main decks. Now the decks are separated very nicely and have a central sort of hallway, and as we actually come up here, I'll use the jetpack to cheat a little bit so we don't have to find all the staircases. We actually have a board with the layout of the ship. You can see we've got the med room up at the front to our left, so technically through here should be the med bay. We'll check that out. There we go, this is the med bay up here itself. So we've got a nice little area, and we've got access to the viewing deck on the front of the ship that I think also works as a secondary cockpit. You can see here, got some buttons, some panels, as well as this nice sort of open windowed cockpit design. Very lovely. You can see the planet out there extremely nicely. Let's hop back down and make our way to the back of the ship as fast as possible. So we've got the oxygen cryo room up there. I'm not going to show you, this is not super detailed, this is just quite a small little room, so we'll hop up into here. We've got the cryo room there on the left, and as we come back here, we've got the oxygen storage system here, as well as the production center. Just a very nice, well laid out room, and it's got a lot of storage for a lot of pods, so you can have a whole team of fighters aboard this one ship if you really wanted to. So heading back down into the main hull, you can see we've got a nice little display there on the side. And if we have a quick look at our reference module, we'll have a look at the engine and shield room, work our way to the crew quarters, jump room, and then back to the bridge. So we'll head on through here. See, we've got 2 large reactors in the center of this hallway. If I turn off my lights, it's a lot darker in here than it would usually be on a ship. I'm guessing that's to save sort of lag at the same time. You could always extend the lights if you really wanted to. There is enough lights to light up this whole ship. Another little window there down the side. And if we head to this one, you can see it reaccesses that same area. And then we come to the front of the ship as well. So there we go, pop that door open. We drop down here, and I believe we'll enter into the maintenance area on the bottom area of the ship. Let's have a look. Yeah, maintenance room. Beautiful. You can see we've got all the underneath of the wiring. Very important, because if a ship comes under attack, you need to access your wiring and make sure things are still plugged in. Now, I think these are gyroscopes, but just look at the detailing on them. It really adds to this sort of immersion of this engine room. So let's go to the main entrance. We can also go down here if we want to. Let's actually have a hop through these doors and see what's on the other side. This is just another access tunnel into our shield generator room. Nothing too special here. We've got the shield generators on the side and the central shield in the middle between the two reactors. And we also have the crew quarters. This was a little bit strange. This confused me a bit, why the crew quarters are down here in what seems to be a cargo room. But you don't know. It doesn't have to explain itself. So we're there in the crew quarters. Let's make our way back to the cargo and bridge main engine room. So now that we're back up into the main hallway, we've got a number of different rooms that act as cargo and other various devices, as well as the reactor room a little bit further up. You can see this one is just a computer processing room for the various programs that are running aboard this ship. We'll continue on and we'll move to the end of this corridor, out of this room full of computers and cargo storage. We'll check another room just to show you on the way. So this is just a basic cargo storage room, green containers, some shelves to put your equipment on. Hop back out of there and we'll continue to the end of the room. So at the end of the room, underneath these floors, there is just crew quarters. And we'll work our way up through here. Another jump drive room. Very nicely indeed. We've got the batteries on both sides. This is where the ship actually thins down in the center at this point, where when we're on the outside. Very nice. Lovely. I love a little bit of detail in corridors. Corridors are such an important part of sci-fi projects, in my opinion. So I'll pop that open and we're into the main reactor room. Got oxygen systems, reactors down there, further shield generating systems. Oh, it's just so detailed, so lovely. Bridge up, cargo down. So let's just use our jetpack and I'll quickly show you into the engine room, where he's built like a proper looking engine out of a mixture of cargo containers as well as shield generators. Lovely bit of construction. So I just cut while I opened the 6 or 7 airlocks to the external fighter. So if we come through here, you can see the little catwalk on the side that we had a look at on the outside, and we enter into this room. We'll actually enter into the small ship and gravity will rotate around like so. And now we're in the small ship for exploring. Now this ship comes with everything you need. You've got cargo containers, you've got a refinery, so you can get down to a planet, build, maintain a base, just everything perfectly, really well thought out in design. So we'll hop back down here, spin around, and we'll cross into this platform here, and we'll seal this door behind us so our oxygen levels can actually start raising back up as the oxygen fans pump them out. Now heading to the bridge, this is a little bit of a more interesting project. So as we come here, we move up to the bridge level and gravity rotates us around. I love it when that happens. It's just such a smart way of making use of space. Main bridge up there, some more cargo containers on both sides, so it's going to rotate us around again, keep us walking up, and we're going through a vertical airlock now. Very nice. And we cut around to the side and we're up at the main bridge area. The main bridge area is quite a simple sort of design. We've got oxygen generators at the top. We've got some rear sort of control panels very nicely laid out, and up the front we've got the front area of the bridge. Very exposed, quite weak, but it does look damn beautiful. And a lot of these ships are designed more with beauty in mind than functionality, because in terms of functionality, a cube with loads of guns stuck on it would probably be a very effective ship. But anyway, let's take this guy for a little bit of a spin. So here we go, we'll power him up. We'll just see how he moves around us. Shield generators. Oh, he turns very nicely. Oh, it's just such a smooth, majestic sort of ship. Speed is going up. You can see how the speed has actually exceeded the speed limit since we've got a modification on. Very nice indeed. This is definitely some sort of ship that you'd want to take around with you on your survival. We'll try jerking it left to see if we can damage it or turn it. Now, the gyroscopes are at such a low power, you can't jerk it or rip parts off, it seems. Let's have a look at that. Lovely. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and if you want to check this ship out on the workshop, there'll be a link in the description.